Hey everybody, this is Blue. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about Callboy, Mr. Call for an Uprising. See, last night he was part of a chat with Hellbound Heathen and Zabora from Comedic Witchcraft, and he showed his true colors. He doesn't hide them, but he showed how bad of a person he really is. But I got to start off with stating that there are good Christians out there. There are many Christians out there that are happy in their beliefs and they have no desire to push them on other people. You see, my rule has always been that I don't care what beliefs you have up until you push them on somebody else. Now, a lot of the Abrahamic religions have these zealots like Callboy who feel that they need to spread their faith, their values, their beliefs on the world. And those are not good Christians in my mind. But you see, Callboy was even worse last night because he was invited into this chat session with, like I said, Lyle Loken and Zabora to resolve their issues. And instead of being cool, calm, collective and trying to talk about the situation, we had Callboy being rude, crude, and very offensive. He threw a lot of insults. He insulted Zabora in the hour that I watched of this. 4 times he was body shaming her, and which is kind of pathetic for Callboy, because Callboy has never showed his face online because he's afraid to. So this boy wants to go around and insult people. Like I said, he insulted Zabora at least 4 times. He also insulted me. He had to say that I'm overweight, and I am. Yes. He said that I'm bald. I'm not bald. I have a receding hairline, but I am not bald. I shave my head because I like it that way. All right. But like I said, he went into the situation, we would have hoped to be calm and talk things out. But he was constantly interrupting Zabora and Lyle Loken. It got so bad that Lyle Loken had to mute Callboy at least 2 times while I was there. And so with him, with his insults, constantly interrupting, not a lot got accomplished by Callboy. And so he is an example of online zealot Christians. He is the epitome of bad Christians. Like I said, there are good Christians out there, but there are bad Christians as well, and he is one of them. See, if you look at the history of Call for an Uprising, Callboy for many years has made daily videos where he is attacking people. He is calling everybody that does not agree with him Satanists and part of the Illuminati. Him and I have had multiple run-ins. He thinks it's all right to say that people should be put in cages. It is all right for him to demand that people be punished for things that are not crimes. He wants to have a double standard where if you're Christian, you are all right to do things, but if you are not a Christian and you do the same thing, you're vile and you should be locked up. He has a fetish with cages. But recently, Callboy here has been going around crying, well, what about my freedom of speech? And, that's utter fucking bullshit to me, because he is a person that, like I said, in his videos, he wants people thrown in cages. He has no problem taking away people's freedom of existence. He wants to take away other people's freedom of speech. He is opposed to any form of freedom of expression by non-Christians, but yet he wants to cry about his freedom of speech. So he is a hypocrite. This is, again, a part about being bad Christians. You want to say one thing and do another. You want to punish people for doing the same thing Christians do, but because they're not Christian. So I dislike Callboy for that reason. You see, one of the first videos that I watched of the little twit was a video where he wanted, and he cried out to everybody that he wants the pagans, the witches, to be pushed into the forest and put in cages. Okay, he has a thing against witches. Okay, so he is not wanting to give people like me my freedom of speech. But the moment that we fight back, we do something to try to tell him to knock the crap off, and he's crying, "What about my freedom of speech? I have every right to say what I want." Well, you do have the right to say what you want, but you better realize that it comes with consequences. Freedom of speech is not exactly free. There is responsibility of speech. Because let's say I made a comment about your grandma and how she walked the streets and worked at night to make money to pay for your cross-eyed mother. You see, somebody could say that was slander, defamation of character, and I could be sued, but I was using an example, and we both know that that part is not true. But I could have been sued for that because I broke the law for that. And Callboy does not want to hold that standard for himself. Again, this is the double standard in these bad Christians online. They are going to go out of their way to condemn anybody and everybody that's not a Christian, but turned a blind eye to the actions of Christians. You see, at the little chat last night, Call for an Uprising talked about slavery and all that. And it's funny how he said slavery was wrong, but I did a video, just over a year ago, talking about a church on the East Coast that was taking fellow Christians from Brazil, bringing them to the United States, and using them as slave labor. Yes, Christian churches do this. They took their passports and they forced these people from Brazil to work and long hours and live in rooms without any furniture. And yet, he won't mention this. It's the double standard, a hypocrite, which is one of the many reasons why I hate Callboy. So Callboy was going through all of his things. He was trying to say that he's doing the just cause and all that, and there's nothing wrong for what he does. But he was asked about homosexuality, and it's kind of good timing considering that last month was Pride Month. He thinks that homosexual acts are gross and wants them blocked. He thinks that it should be illegal for two homosexual men to hug and kiss each other. But he said nothing about the public acts of affection that heterosexuals do all the time. We see heterosexuals holding hand in hand, arms around each other at parks, stores. They every once in a while will kiss each other. They sometimes do some very provocative dances at bars and such. So these public displays of affections that the heterosexuals do is all right, and he's not going to do anything to block them, but he feels that the homosexual members of the LGBTQ community, their actions should be blocked. So you see, this is the double standard. And so as long as he's going to do this type of thing, where he is going to condemn and suggest that people do actions against members of the LGBT community, which is pagans and all that, then I think we need to act against him, because he is a hypocrite, a liar, and he is trying to incite violence against people that are in the minority. So I do actually hope people deplatform him because of the way he acts. So my request to everybody out there is to go to his YouTube channels, go back in history and deplatform him. Flag him down, file complaints against his videos. You will see that in a lot of his videos, he is absolutely rude, crude, and totally offensive. So what do? I go back about a year or two and I look at some of his videos and I flag him. And I think that's what a lot of people should do, because until he gets his head out of his ass and stops demanding that people be punished for being themselves, I think he should suffer. I'm not nice like Zabora and Lalok and their Callboy. Like I said, it's simple. You stop doing videos where you're demanding that people be put in cages. You stop doing videos saying that people should be silent. You stop doing videos where you are insulting people so badly, and stop doing the lies. Oh God, yes, you little bastard. You better stop doing the lies. I thought it was very, very pathetic of you how you would like to make these claims that these pagans and Satanists and witches around October are abducting all these children, but you don't back it up. You make these outlandish claims, but there's no proof to your damn claims. And I would like to remind you that in the prison populations in the United States for child molesters, the population is over 80% Christian. There is another 12 to 14% that would fall under the Jewish and Islamic umbrella, which means that roughly well over 90% of the child molesters in jail are from the Abrahamic religions. Less than 1% of the child molesters in U.S. prisons are pagan. So what that means for you, Callboy, is that for every supposed pagan child molester, child murderer that you claim, there are over 1,000 more that are Christian. Okay? You want to make your claims, you want to make your wild ass claims, you better start backing them up, because really you don't. You lie through your teeth. You, again, are not very Christian, because the Bible says do not lay false witness. In other words, don't lie. But you lie all the time. Now, I know Callboy is going to cry that I'm being mean because I'm taking away his freedom of speech. But you see, Callboy, I'm actually behaving more Christian than you. You see, the Bible also says that you should do unto others as you have done to yourself. Well, you don't want your freedom of speech touched, but you have no problem every day trying to take away everybody else's. Why? Because you're hateful and you're pathetic. You are a terrible Christian. You are an example of what Christians shouldn't be. And you know what? That's a major insult for you there, Callboy, when people like me are better at Christianity than you. I used to be a Christian. The first 35 years of my life, I was a Christian. I followed the Bible. And so I know this. Even today, with my disdain towards Christianity, I act like a better Christian than you have ever done. So go bring your little groupies, your little hate mob, and flag down my video. Try to take it down. I dare you. Because I am going to attack you. Every day I'm going to go grab a video or two of yours. I'm going to flag it. I'm going to take it down. Do you understand that? And the only way you can stop me is to stop yourself. So everybody, I'm sorry for the long rant. I was getting a little angry because call for an uprising. Good old Callboy has no problem in trying to incite hate towards us. And then when we fight back, he plays the victim card. You know, again, it's so darn pathetic how zealot Christians like him act when there's thousands of them, and yet if one pagan, one witch, one Satanist says no, oh no, they're being persecuted. And Callboy, one last thing before I go. I find it quite pathetic on your part that you want to talk about the Illuminati and how they're such a powerful top secret organization, but you seem to catch everything. If you can catch all this information openly so easily, it's not a top secret organization. It's just you looking for a conspiracy theory so you can spew out your hate. There are good Christians out there, ladies and gentlemen. There really are. Call for an uprising, Mr. Callboy. Others like the Vigilant Christian. Then, of course, there's Emily and all that. Those aren't good Christians. And I find it rather irritating that the Christian community spends no time policing their groups. They will allow people like Callboy, Emily, the Vigilant Christian, and all them others to spew their hate, and not once will they say, don't do that. So everybody, take care, be at peace.